While Ashley was having an asthma attack, David Johnson was in the ballroom, intimately dancing with his female secretary. Even as she foamed at the mouth and lost consciousness, the man continued to hold the secretary close, whispering sweet nothings and laughing. On the way home, she found a diamond ring in the glove compartment. Before she could say anything, David frowned, snatched it away, and said coldly, "It's not for you." Ashley nodded, pointed to the bridal boutique ahead, and said calmly, "Please pull over." The wedding gown she had custom-made now seemed like it should be returned. As soon as Ashley walked into the bridal boutique, David got out of the car and chased after her. He threw a woman's coat at her face. "Ashley, get rid of your habit of being so forgetful." David was a neat freak and never allowed anything of hers to be left in the car. Glancing at the coat on the ground, Ashley said indifferently, "It's not mine." Hearing this, the man's expression softened, and he picked up the coat without hesitation, folding it neatly. Ashley knew the coat belonged to Megan Brown. Every time Megan deliberately left something behind, it would cause a hysterical argument between her and David. But this time, she had no complaints. She simply turned around and gave her phone number to the saleswoman. The saleswoman said with a smile, "You two have come at the right time. Your custom-made wedding gown and suit are ready and can be tried on." Before Ashley could refuse to try it on, the man who had just snapped at her had already walked into the dressing room with a cold face. 10 minutes later, Ashley stood in front of David in the wedding gown. He curled his lip at her. "Tacky." Ashley didn't argue with him but asked the saleswoman to take a picture of her. Hearing this, David looked impatient and was about to put his arm around her for a photo together. Just then, his phone rang. It was Megan Brown's special ringtone. The girl was crying to him, saying that her favorite coat was missing. If a kind person could find her clothes and return them immediately, she would repay them with her life. After hanging up the phone, David left without changing his clothes, striding away. Hearing the sound of the car driving away, Ashley picked up a pair of scissors and, without hesitation, cut the wedding gown to shreds. At 1:30 a.m., Ashley, who was packing her personal belongings, received a message on WhatsApp. It was from David Johnson, having a drink. After 8 years of dating, it was rare for the man to proactively report his whereabouts. Looking at the cleaning gloves on her hands, she didn't reply. After taking out the trash, Ashley took a hot shower and went straight to bed. When David came home the next day, he ran into Ashley taking out the trash. He looked at her strangely. "Is your phone broken?" Seeing her shake her head, the man frowned instinctively. She knew why he was asking. In the past, when he stayed out too late, she would send messages and call incessantly. But last night, his phone was eerily silent. As she was about to walk out of the house, David asked again, "Ashley, where did the picture of us on the wall go?" Glancing down at the trash bag, Ashley was about to tell the truth when his phone vibrated. Pushing past her shoulder, the man pressed the voice button, speaking as he walked inside, "Don't worry, kid, I'll send it to you as soon as it's done." Hearing the sound of water running in the bathroom, she continued downstairs to take out the trash. When Ashley came back upstairs after taking out the trash, she had a bout of low blood sugar. Covered in cold sweat, she went home and grabbed the fried egg and toast on the table, taking just one bite. She then heard David's resentful voice, "Ashley, are you that starved?" Watching the man throw the toast she had bitten, along with the plate, into the trash can, Ashley asked him blankly, "I've cooked for you for 8 years. Am I not even Al? Load to have one bite of the breakfast you made when I have low blood sugar?" David's eyes were cold and hard. Bad manners. Taking something without asking is stealing. He put on his suit, slammed the door, and left. Faced with David's new round of silent treatment, Ashley subconsciously picked up her phone and opened his WhatsApp. She noticed that he had changed his phone wallpaper. It was a photo with a cat ear filter of Megan Brown. Ashley liked it and then casually removed him from the top of her chat list. 2. At noon at the office, Ashley, who had made an appointment with a real estate agent to view an apartment, ran into David Johnson and Megan Brown as she stepped into the elevator. Megan's hair was disheveled, and David was tying her hair into a ponytail. Seeing Ashley, Megan immediately put her hands on her hips, pouted, and complained, "Ashley, dear Ashley, you're just in time. Look at David. He's always pulling my hair, like a little boy who hasn't grown up. It's so annoying." Before Ashley could speak, David gently pinched Megan's nose and said teasingly, "Little kid, your nose will grow long if you tell lies." After making Megan blush, the man finally looked at Ashley with pity. "Ashley, what a rare opportunity. Let's have lunch together." They had worked in the same shopping mall but in different offices for 5 years. David had never asked her to have lunch with him during his lunch break. And Ashley had posted every lunch David had with her on social media. Recalling this, Ashley smiled. "You guys go ahead. I have something to do." Unexpected that she would refuse, David's face turned ugly in the next second, and the elevator suddenly stalled, plunging into darkness. Turning on the flashlight on her phone, Ashley saw David holding Megan, comforting her softly. Before long, the elevator returned to normal. When they arrived on the first floor, David offered to give her a ride. Before she could speak, Megan suddenly fainted. Seeing this, He man disregarded her, pushed Ashley aside, carried Megan on his back, and rushed to the hospital. Silently picking up her cracked phone screen, Ashley hailed a car and went to look at apartments. In the evening, David personally delivered a dessert to her desk. Half an hour earlier, Ashley had seen Megan post a new status, "Loving someone is like raising a flower. Baby can't finish it at all." The picture was of a table full of French pastries. Ashley thanked him and didn't open the dessert box. David looked a little lost. "Ashley, why are you being so polite to me?" Ashley didn't answer him directly, only saying, "If there's nothing else, I need to go print some documents." By the time she came back from printing her resignation application, David had already left. He had left a sticky note, asking her to go upstairs to find him after she was done. Ashley tore off the sticky note and threw it away along with the dessert. She went into her supervisor's office and submitted her resignation. The supervisor tried to persuade her to stay for a long time, but seeing that she was determined to leave, he finally accepted her letter of resignation. According to the procedure, she could leave after working the rest of the week. At 10 p.m. that night, David called Ashley, who was at a get-together. The call was accidentally answered by a male colleague. When it was her turn to answer, David's tone was terrifyingly cold. "Ashley, where are you in the middle of the night?" Ashley replied, "Outside." "Send me your location. I'll pick you up now." After saying that, the man hung up the phone immediately. After sending the location, she stayed until the store closed. Ashley never saw David Johnson. Opening Megan Brown's Instagram feed, she saw that she had posted news of herself being sick and on a drip. She took a cab home alone, washed up, and went to sleep. At 3 a.m., David, looking disheveled, shook Ashley awake violently. He said coldly to her, "Ashley, I'm hungry. Make me some seafood soup." He didn't like clams, let alone seafood soup. Ashley knew that the person who wanted to eat it was Megan Brown. She wanted to push David's hand away, but touched the scar on the back of his hand. Back when the school auditorium caught fire, she probably would have died if it weren't for David. A life-saving grace in exchange for a bowl of seafood soup was a good deal for her. Seeing that she had changed her clothes without a word and was about to go out, David grabbed her arm. He said with rare hesitation, "Or should we wait until dawn to make it?" "Anyway." Ashley interrupted him, asking softly, "Besides seafood soup, is there anything else she wants to eat?" After a moment of silence, David released her hand. He said, "No." 3. At daybreak, the man stood at the door with a thermos of food, saying to her, "Ashley, I have to go abroad next week. I'll squeeze some time out this Saturday to have dinner with your parents and discuss our wedding." Before he could finish, Ashley rejected him directly, "There's no need." David was visibly stunned. "What do you mean by that?" Ashley lied with a smile, "They're traveling abroad and haven't returned yet." The man stared at her intently, seemingly still wanting to say something, but luckily, his phone rang. For this reason, he couldn't wait to close the door. On Friday, her last day, David dragged Ashley into the car without explanation as she walked out of the office. At the upscale restaurant, David cut Ashley's steak for her, asking, "Which wine would you like to drink?" Ashley swiped through her phone, bored, and said casually, "You decide." Her absent-mindedness made the man's handsome face darken. "Who are you chatting with?" "No one." Even after getting her answer, the man still snatched her phone away. After looking through it for a while, his eyes were dark and unclear, and he asked, "When did you change your phone wallpaper?" They had been together for so many years, and her phone wallpaper had always been a photo of her and him. Now it had been changed to her parents' puppy. Too lazy to answer this question, Ashley simply got up to go to the restroom. When she came back, David was gone. Suddenly, all the lights in the restaurant went out. The waiters pushed flowers and a cake slowly toward her. Not long after the cake cart stopped at the next table, her phone lit up. It was a birthday greeting from a generic mobile carrier's automated message service. Walking out of the restaurant, she heard a familiar, sweet voice. "Wow, David, you're so strong. Push me higher." It was Megan Brown sitting on a swing outside the restaurant, screaming excitedly for David to push her higher and higher. The result of being too greedy was that she fell into the man's arms almost immediately. They looked at each other and smiled, hugging each other for a long time before noticing her presence. A clear look of disappointment flashed across David's eyes, and he looked at her expressionlessly. "Ashley, dear Ashley, this swing is so fun. Come join us." Halfway through her sentence, Megan's face turned red, and she shyly lowered her arm from David's shoulder, seemingly reluctantly. "Ashley, dear Ashley, don't get me wrong. David only hugged me to save me." David affectionately ruffled Megan's hair, looking at her deeply. "Silly, why explain anything? It's good that you're not hurt." After coaxing Megan, the man suppressed all tenderness, looking at Ashley indifferently. "Are you full already?" Ashley ignored him, instead walking towards the carousel not far away. She had heard that if you made a wish on the carousel on your birthday, your wish would come true. Seeing her back, Megan flashed a mocking look in her eyes and quickly pulled David to follow. "Wow, a carousel, David, I want to ride that too." Hearing the staff say that there were only 2 seats left, David didn't even look at Ashley, grabbing Megan's hand and taking the seats. 20 minutes later, the man, who had returned to the ground, searched the entire shopping mall but couldn't find Ashley again. At 8 p.m., she walked out of the bedroom carrying her luggage, placing a note that read, "We're done," under the keys. Ashley left without looking back. At 11 p.m., her phone rang. It was David calling. She was in the living room chatting with her parents and didn't see it. An hour later, the man called again. Ashley dimmed the screen, turned off the phone, and went to sleep. When she woke up at noon the next day and restarted her phone, she was surprised to see over a dozen missed calls. Sensing something, she opened WhatsApp. She saw that David, who was usually cold and indifferent, had sent several messages in a row. "What do the keys and the note mean? So what if I forgot your birthday? Is it fun to play hard to get by not answering the phone or replying to messages? Ashley, I'm giving you 1 hour to come back, or don't ever come back." Seeing that the last message was sent 3 hours ago, Ashley breathed a sigh of relief from the bottom of her heart and deleted David. The door was knocked on. After getting her permission, her mother brought in a glass of milk. "Ashley, your stomach isn't good. Drink it while it's hot." Last night, Ashley had suddenly returned home with her luggage, but her parents didn't ask anything, only caring for her as always. Hugging her mother's arm, Ashley sniffled and said, "Mom, I've taken a liking to an apartment. It's small, but it's enough to protect me from the wind and rain." Her mother said with a smile, "Then buy it. How much more money do you need? Mom will cover it." Even though Ashley shook her head with a smile, saying that she had enough money, her mother still transferred her $200,000. She said that girls only truly have confidence when they have a house and savings. Because of this, Ashley immediately made an appointment with the landlord to sign the contract next Monday. In the evening, her father not only cooked a table full of delicious food but also bought a cream cake to celebrate her birthday from yesterday. Facing the lit birthday candles, Ashley put her hands together and made a sincere wish, hoping for her parents' health and for everything to go well. However, not long after blowing out the candles, she received an unexpected message. To be precise, she received several messages from different people, but they all expressed the same meaning. Oh my God, Ashley, congratulations on finally tying the knot. I'll come back to the country to attend and give you a big gift card. Ashley, wishing you and David a lifetime of happiness and many children. Just as Ashley was feeling confused by these snowflakes of blessings, a WhatsApp pop-up appeared, showing that David Johnson had requested to become her friend. Ashley, I've announced on Instagram feed that we're getting married. You've achieved the goal you wanted, and you should be done making a scene. Seeing the words "done making a scene," Ashley really couldn't help but laugh. At this point, who exactly was the one making a scene? Then again, her mother had once asked her to give David her WhatsApp contact card. The man had ignored it all along and never added her. Looking back, she was very grateful for his indifference. If this farce were to reach her mother, it would probably give her a headache all night. After calming down for a moment, Ashley first replied to her friends who had sent their blessings, telling them that she and David had broken up. Then, she posted a new status on her rarely used Instagram feed that even strangers could see. Don't believe the rumors, don't spread the rumors. I'm single and have no boyfriend. Not even 2 minutes after this clarification was posted, David's phone call came. She didn't answer. However, the man kept calling relentlessly. Ashley simply blacklisted his phone number. After the world returned to silence, Ashley lay down and on the soft, comfortable sheets, put on her headphones, and closed her eyes to listen to music. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. She was busy with furnishing her new home while also squeezing in time to look for a new job. Fortunately, although the process had its twists and turns and was tough, she finally got the new home she had dreamed of and an interesting job that paid even better than before. As for David Johnson, occasionally one or two mutual friends would mention him to her, intentionally or unintentionally. They said that he was getting busier and busier, so busy that he no longer had time to attend any social gatherings. He was so busy that he had completely forgotten to delete the fake news on his Instagram feed, which was still pinned to the top, saying, David Johnson and Ashley Smith are about to get married. Ashley didn't say anything about this. Her time and energy were limited and precious, and wouldn't be wasted on people and things that were now in the past. One Friday evening at the beginning of the month, Ashley rushed to get off work at the rush hour, finally managing to make it to the 100-day celebration that her former university classmate was holding for her daughter. Inside the elegant and bright hotel ballroom, Ashley gave the gold locket to the adorable baby girl lying in her female classmate's arms, wishing her a life of peace, joy, and success. During the dinner, several long-lost friends from the next table came over one by one to toast and chat with her. The last person to come over was Gavin Chwan. He was a law student 2 years below her. The reason they knew each other was that she was the president of the debate club during college, and he was the vice president. Gavin left 2 breath mints when he left. Watching the man return to his original seat, the female classmate couldn't help but nudge Ashley's waist. Ashley, to tell you the truth, I didn't even think of inviting Gavin Chwan to my daughter's 100-day celebration. After all, I'm not familiar with this big star in the legal world. He was the one who got someone to find my contact information and directly asked me if you would be coming. Before the 100-day celebration was over, Ashley said her goodbyes and indicated that she was leaving first. Coincidentally, Gavin was also about to leave. In the elevator, the handsome man, who hadn't drunk a drop of beer/wine, said, Ashley, let me take you home. Ashley narrowed her eyes, looking at him suspiciously. No free lunch. It's been so many years since graduation. You wouldn't still be thinking of usurping the throne and becoming president of the club, would you? Suppressing a chuckle, Gavin was about to respond to my joke when the elevator doors on the first basement floor slid open. A man stood outside, someone I least expected to see. David Johnson? What are you doing? He didn't let me finish. The man, radiating anger, strode into the elevator, grabbed my wrist, and yanked me out. Ignoring my struggles, David's face was taut as he gritted out, "Ashley Smith, I give up. I'll agree to whatever you want, just stop this Cold War torture, starting now." Hearing the words Cold War, I stared at David, baffled. David Johnson, are you even listening to me? How many times do I have to repeat that we're over before you leave me alone? Even after I made myself crystal clear, David stared at me for several seconds, as if deaf. Then, still gripping my struggling right hand, he coldly and resolutely tried to pull me towards his silver sedan parked a few feet away. Seeing this, Gavin rushed forward, quickly seizing my other arm, and said indifferently, "Ashley doesn't want to go with you." Noticing me moving closer to Gavin with all my might, David's lips thinned into a sharp line. He asked Gavin with a mocking tone, "Do you know that Ashley and I were about to finally tie the knot? She already accepted my proposal, and in a few days, she'll be my wife. WH. At right, do you, an outsider, have to interfere in matters between my wife and me?" Gavin's grip on my hand tightened sadly. Before he could form a retort, I, enraged by David's audacity, laughed coldly and said to David Johnson, "Gavin is my boyfriend, so his business is my business. As for you, you pathetic, clingy, disgusting ex, what gives you the nerve to bark at my boyfriend?" As soon as I finished speaking, Megan Brown, wearing a hospital gown, got out of David's car. She leaned against David, looking pitiful, blinked her eyes, and accused me with a hidden meaning, "Ashley, dear Ashley, you were not only caught flirting with this man at the ballroom earlier, but now you're hurting David, so much for him. Are you so fickle that you couldn't wait 2 months before hooking up with another man? Oh my God, how could you do this? Fickle and impatient, huh?" I accepted Megan's veiled sarcasm and generously said to David, "See how well Megan understands your pain. Honestly, you two are a match made in heaven. I sincerely hope you find happiness together and finally tie the knot soon." After hearing my calm and emotionless blessing, David's face visibly darkened. A hint of joy flashed in Megan's eyes, and she opened her mouth, ready to add fuel to the fire and continue mocking me. However, when David saw Gavin and me standing together, he seemed to wake up from a dream and abruptly pushed her away. Megan's knees scraped against the rough ground, and she stared blankly as David rushed towards me, explaining with unprecedented urgency, "Ashley, Megan, and I don't have the nasty relationship you think we do. The reason she's in my car is because she fainted on the side of the road near the office, so I had no choice but to take her to the hospital." I found it a little funny. "Why are you telling me this?" Seeing that I showed no signs of anger, David visibly sighed in relief. "Ashley, I just want you to know that you're the only one in my heart, from beginning to end." Realizing that David was reaching out to touch my cheek, Gavin suddenly pulled me into his arms, looking at David warily, and said coldly, "Ashley is my girlfriend now. Please respect yourself." As soon as he said that, before I could thank Gavin with my eyes for playing along, David suddenly grabbed Gavin's collar, his face ashen, and clenched his fist, ready to punch him. Gavin could have dodged that blow, but to protect me in his arms, he stood there and took the hit. Slap! A crisp slap echoed through the empty parking lot, following David's angry punch. Releasing Gavin and his fist, David, with his head turned from my slap, remained silent for dozens of seconds before finally turning to me, his eyes vacant. He asked me, "Ashley, are you crazy?" 9 Actually, he didn't need to ask. David already believed that I must be crazy. If I weren't out of my mind, how could I, who had loved him for 8 years, who had always been docile, quiet, and sensible, strike him for some random guy? This must be a dream. Just as David thought this, he looked up and saw me holding Gavin's hand, our fingers intertwined, asking Gavin softly if it hurt and whether he should go to the hospital. David was completely dumbfounded. His eyes, gradually turning red, were filled with disbelief. Megan, not giving up, scrambled up from the ground. No longer hiding the jealousy and hatred in her eyes, she pointed at me and angrily cursed, "You shameless bitch, David has been wholeheartedly thinking about finally tying the knot with you, but I didn't expect you to have been having an affair with this man behind his back." In the past, I had tolerated Megan's slander and lies in front of David for various reasons. But now, she was openly accusing Gavin of being a home wrecker in front of me. I chuckled, casually took off my right high heel, and walked aggressively towards Megan. In the blink of an eye, I did something crazy that no one expected. Megan's mouth was slapped wildly with the dirty, dusty sole of my high heel. Her eyes widened, and she instinctively wanted to retreat, but I had anticipated this and grabbed her hair, controlling her. Megan's mouth was beaten and swollen in a few strokes, and she cried out in pain, tears streaming down her face. While I was coldly teaching Megan a lesson, she kept looking at David with tearful, pleading eyes. The funny thing was that David stood there without moving, letting her cry and act out her drama. After I tossed her aside like garbage, David couldn't wait to snatch the high heel from my hand and knelt, wanting to put it back on for me. "Ashley, don't be angry. I know you're not the kind of woman Megan makes you out to be. I finally understand that the reason we've become like this is because Megan has been stirring up trouble between us. I promise you, I'll never be soft on her again because I feel sorry for her. I'll fire her when I get back, okay, Ashley? So, let's not break up, okay? Ashley, I know I was wrong." Glancing at Megan, who looked miserable and ashen-faced, I took off my other high heel and expressionlessly threw it at David's face. "Even if you fire 100 Megans, it won't change the fact that we've already broken up." After saying that, I turned to leave, but my skirt caught. David was holding me, his hand trembling. In all the years I had known him, I had never seen him look so lost, disoriented, and helpless. "Don't go. Can you tell me what I did wrong that you have to break up with me so cruelly? Is it really because you're with this man?" "Ashley, I don't believe you would be so cruel to me." I looked at him with contempt. "Let go." He shook his head stubbornly, his voice hoarse and frightening. "Ashley, look at me. Unless you look into my eyes and tell me that you don't love me anymore, that you love Gavin, otherwise, I'll never believe that you truly want to break up with me." As David wished, I finally turned around and looked in to his deep eyes, which had turned bloodshot and desperate, almost on the verge of tears. "10," I said to him, one word at a time, "David Johnson, I don't love you anymore. No matter who I love in the future, it will never be you. Do you understand?" His knees weakened, and David knelt in front of me without any dignity. He forced a stiff smile, a smile more like a cry. "It doesn't matter, Ashley. It's enough that I love you. You don't have to love me. As long as we don't break up, you can make me do anything, even kill someone." I said calmly, "I don't need your worthless love. If you harass me again in the future, I'll call the police." Hearing this, David blinked. Long accumulated salty tears welled up and flowed out. "Ashley, don't treat me like this. I know I shouldn't have trampled on your sincerity and ignored your kindness to me. Why can't you give me one last chance to atone? I swear, I'll let you see my changes." Cutting off the man's obsessive rambling, I simply said, "David Johnson, it's all too late." Ignoring David's lifeless, empty gaze, I got into Gavin's car and left. In the car, I apologized for using Gavin as a shield and causing him to get beaten. Gavin smiled indifferently. "If you ever need it again, be sure to ask me first." After safely dropping me off at my neighborhood, Gavin said, "Ashley, if David Johnson ever harasses you again, you can call me, no matter what time it is." I nodded and smiled, agreeing to have dinner together next weekend if we were free. One ordinary evening, a month later, I received a call from an unfamiliar landline number. It was David Johnson. He seemed to be sick, weak, and coughing incessantly. "Ashley, please don't hang up. I only have one question for you. Did you ever love me?" I didn't even lift my eyelids. "No." After saying that, I hung up, put down my phone, and continued watching a TV variety show. It wasn't until 2 days later that I learned from a classmate group that David had suffered arson at the office and was now lying in the hospital, his life hanging in the balance. The fire was set by Megan. Megan, dissatisfied with being fired, lost control and locked the office door, dragging her half-dead body, wanting to perish together with David. Seeing the case announcement issued by the local police, I belatedly realized that David had called my phone number when he was on the verge of death. How unlucky. My muttered words in front of the movie theater caught Gavin's attention as he was buying tickets. Ashley, what did you say just now? I didn't hear you. It was nothing. I closed the classmate group, leaned over to look at Gavin's phone, and asked him, did you get the tickets? What time is the showing? Yes, it starts in half an hour, just enough time to buy the drink you want. Gavin excitedly led me to the lower level of the shopping mall. On the way to buy the drink, he also bought me some snacks and things to play with. The bags in his hands were so numerous that it didn't seem like he was preparing to watch a movie, but rather like he had just finished Christmas/New Year shopping. After watching the movie and going down to the parking lot, Gavin asked me to open the trunk to get something. Hearing his voice, I opened the trunk and unsurprisingly saw the flowers and balloons he had prepared for a long time. The man was visibly nervous. Ashley, will you be my girlfriend? I smiled without hesitation and took his hand. Of course. Life is long and winding. In the twists and turns, you will always meet the next one.